Alright guys, so I actually got out of those calls maybe a little early, but at the open, I expected us to open higher than that. Definitely expected us to open higher than that. So when I saw that we had already hit the science level, really like the same price level here in the extended hours, made me think, see, because you've got this trade opportunity here in the pre-market, right? So like resistance right at the open, right? So like this, there's erratic behavior here, and so what I did is I bought back some of my puts that I'd sold short, and I sold my call for just a slight loss. I didn't like the position based on where we opened. But I'm still holding some short puts because I feel like there's some erratic behavior here. The trade opportunity is correlated to the high, and you can see we've got all the trade correlations here early in the day. Now we have high correlators later, but they could be crests. My sense is that the fake out is there's like a really big move to the downside here towards the like let's say mid-afternoon session, like 1 to 3-ish kind of, but there's a fake out incorporated in there, like an intentional fake out or shake out of some kind. So really what I'm looking for, I'll probably get out of the rest of my short puts pretty soon. And I'm holding 351 puts that expire on the 2nd. They're up a little bit. Now the 348 puts that I'm holding, I already made a bunch of money from them because I sold against them. And took in quite a good credit. I timed that right. And then I sold against them again with the short puts, the 347 puts that I own right now that I'm looking to buy back. So that's where I'm at, guys. There's an opportunity midday, it looks like right before this drop here. So like out of a decline, right? Out of a decline, we have a move from the bottom of a range to the top of a range. And when that happens, it'll stand out on a one-day chart. That move will stand out from the bottom of a range all the way to the top of a range. And it looks like there's a crest there as well. So when that happens, there's some volatility afterwards that's going to transpire about midday, maybe a little earlier, a little later, but about midday, and that volatility offers opportunity position in both directions. The high correlator is the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups in the high position does speak of some bearish, some bullish energy, because it's like an opportunity off of the high to position oneself in a long position. But the thing is this Ace of Cups energy, we see it for a few days, so it may be an extended decline there, right? Ace of Cups on the 20th, Ace of Cups on the 21st. My sense is there's a pretty That's science card again on the 20th. markets early in the day as well, so there's a high early in the day. So we gap up, range bound at the upper end of a range, end of a rally here, decline end of day, and then a gap up again. Interesting. Closed out of my puts, my short puts, so I'm just long puts now, close to the chest because they expire on the 24th. I don't expect well, I mean, it's just too risky because the downturn I see, the 351 puts expiring on the 2nd, I'm feeling pretty solid about those. Hey Farah, how's it going, man? Yeah, that's a question. What's your question, my friend? I'm not sure what you mean by the date. Is that your husband's birthday? I don't need like their sign or anything like that. Just a clearly defined question. So you want to know what your married life will be like with your husband? Is that correct? What will married life be like? Oh, interesting. The Hierophant card. Spiritual development. Spiritual development, like advancing like good energy, advancing spirituality. Like you make a good pair in that regard. Hierophant card. Let me see. It's here. You guys have quite a bit of spiritual development together that you undergo together. Doesn't seem like it's a bad thing. It seems like a pretty, from the standpoint of a marriage, I think the Hierophant card's a pretty good card. It means you guys have a good sense of like standards, boundaries, moral code. It's likely that he's a spirit, like he's a very spiritual individual, or he has the capability to. That's just the one card pull. Hope that helps, my friend. An earth sign. Exactly. So I expected us to hit this price level again. I just expected it to. Would have been a slight loss here, but I sold the call for a slight loss here. Bought back some of my puts for a little bit of a profit. Puts and 348 puts, and I'm looking to get out of the fourth. they're probably still good for a good move to the downside before they expire, but it's really cutting it close because I see that downturn like just before the years out of a decline. We have a move from the bottom of the range to the top of the range. So if we are going to see this price level again, we'll probably see it. But again, there's quite a bit of erratic behavior going on right here, back and forth through the same price level. So it looks like to me like this is the price level. Probably like right here. Anyhow, so I'm on the short side because we're playing around with this price level up here, the science price level. And I can't even say this is science. Like it's close enough. I would say that we touched the science in the extended hours. That resistance level behavior that's been going on right here. That we have a move from the bottom of the range to the top of the range. Now, which range that is a little bit range to the top of the range. And it's likely it's going to be like this will be the top of the range here. It is possible that it's here. And it is possible that where it's a good mean point, midday. That's that science level. So if we're going to hit that science level, or there's a science correlation there midday. So if we're going to hit that science correlation midday, it's going to be like in this move out of the decline to the upside, a pretty big move. Out of a decline, it's a pretty big move. Usually it'll stand out, but not always. And really the big move indications of big moves throughout the day here are towards the mid-afternoon. Like this is a big decline at the end of the day, and then we gap up again to a distant resistance level the following day, and it's the science card at the high again. So I'll likely do around this big move downward. I'll probably sell against my puts again, and then tomorrow morning probably right at the open, I would, with a failed attempt to break through resistance range. So we'll probably hit it one more time tomorrow. Strong decline. Ace of Cups, all like correlations all throughout this weekend, into the 21st, or excuse me, into the 24th. So it seems like there's a pretty strong decline there, and I was talking about that quite a bit ago. Like I think I did a TikTok on that months ago. If you're still on. Hey, Preston. Hey, what are you growling about, Hermes? Hermes. Come here, buddy. Your stomach's still bothering you, huh? My pup's had some tummy issues lately. Be a good boy, Hermes. It's the theme card. It's a little difficult to determine direction just based on that card. But what I see is that we've got the, yeah, it's difficult to determine direction there as well on the 19th, but when I look at what's happening, we've got this high here, like early, probably like late morning, this decline out of the high that offers an opportunity to open up a long position, and that makes sense. And around a decline through support, and then it looks like we probably rally out at the open, and we're bound at the open, but there's a rally like there to that, and then we that rally ends, and we have the decline commence again. And as far as pattern, everybody loves you, you know? Everybody loves you. Go play. Go play, go play. Anyhow, so that's where I'm at. I'm going to pop off, do some more readings, and then I'll be back on around 3 o'clock. Unless things progress differently, then I'll hop on and I'll